That's about 8, 9 years in a row now.
Really? That's the same place? Same
Yeah,
venue?
in gym.
All right.
Coach, what stood out for you today in this first scrimmage?
Saw some improvement by the offense. Moved the ball pretty good. Still not consistent enough, but it's getting better. Turned the ball over a couple times, put one on the ground with a fumble and threw an interception and 2 minutes. Other than that, it was good ball security. I think we had about 95 snaps, so 2 turnovers, 95 snaps is probably 1 too many. Defense held a lot of guys out, you know, Blecken and Tenney and Trevor, and so still don't have a good read on where we are as a first unit because we're not playing with that unit intact. Special teams continues to improve. Randy Phillips continues to separate himself from the kickers as far as the place kicking duties. Travis had an excellent series and he tweaked the ankle. He's fine. Could have finished if it was a game, but where we're, no situation to need to play him. We held him out for precautionary reasons. He was a little disappointed. He wanted to go, but we want to make sure we take care of that. Let's see what else was good. Offense in the red zone was very productive. They were excellent in the red zone, which means the defense wasn't so good in the red zone. So we still got our issues there. That was something that showed up last year defensively is not good enough in the red zone. Another penalty in the 2-minute situation. Nitpicking now. Penalties are magnified in 2-minute and red zone and all those specialty situations. It can't happen. That showed up again today. But overall, good scrimmage. Got about just short of 100 plays, and got a lot of work done. Now it'll be important to watch the film and make corrections.
Can you talk about York's performance?
York ran the ball hard. I don't know what his numbers were, but he was 4 or 5 yards a carry. Be my guess. Dravion, 7 yards or how many carries? Oh, he's about 7 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry. So he was productive. Carl Williams, other than putting the ball on the ground, and I don't know if it was an exchange problem or if he just dropped it. We'll have to watch the tape. But he was productive. Lucky Radley, Bubba Poole, all 4 of those running backs did good things. And Dravion Young, although it was against the threes, really did some good things. He got out on a couple runs and showed some elusiveness.
How was the tempo today with the offense? Were you satisfied with that?
For the most part, there were some lulls, but we have 3 or 4 different speeds, and so it's not always going to be going at top speed. But a couple of the series, the tempo was not quite what it needed to be, and it was predominantly with the two offense.
Did Travis show that leadership you're looking for?
Better, yeah. He's coming along, and he is starting to emerge in that category as far as taking charge. Yes, today was very good. Now he's only had 1 series, but he was very good in that series.
How'd your corners perform in live today?
We got beat 4 or 5 times, and we'll have to look at the tape and see why. But corners gave up a few too many big plays on the outside. They made some plays, did some nice things, but not consistent enough. At least at first glance, just watching the scrimmage, you don't see what technique they employed and what the situation was before the ball arrived. But we'll take a look at the film and get those things corrected.
Is that your biggest concern on defense right now?
Without a doubt, yeah. It's the corner situation and sorting it out. And we've made headway. We started out with 8 or 9. We're down to 5 or 6 guys that are in the mix for playing time, and we got to get down to obviously a starting 2 for 43 package and 3 of them for nickel package.
You showed us a lot of your freshman quarterbacks today. What did you see from Manning in particular?
Good stuff, and he was the one quarterback in the scrimmage that was live. We wanted to see what he could do, extending the play, and he did a nice job, and really was impressive for a true freshman that hasn't been around here very long. He's got a lot of poise and very, very intelligent.
We know he can throw and go through those progressions. How is he moving?
Okay, not his strong suit. He's not slow by any means, but he's probably of all 4 of the quarterbacks, 5 of the quarterbacks, the guy that is the least threat running the football, but his strength is throwing the ball and going through his reads, as you mentioned.
How'd your linebackers play today?
That's a position you really got to look at the film. Okay. But a little soft in the run game at times. Now, was it due to them? Was it due to defensive linemen getting driven back? You have to check the film out to see exactly what was going on there. But those guys have improved. They're much improved from last fall, without a doubt.
What about your receivers? Are they still struggling with dropping the ball? Are they catching most of the passes now?
Well, the first group is not struggling with that. Drez and Kenneth Scott, there are 2 top guys. There's a clear-cut division there. Then the next group, Andre Lewis, Delshawn McClellan, Those guys, a few drops with those guys, they got to get better. But the guys that are the frontline guys are doing a nice job.
How's Keith McGill's body weight coming on?
You know, it was good until he has concussion, and then he was out of commission for 4 or 5 days and crept back up a few pounds, but he's on his way back down now, and that's a work in progress. He's not where he needs to be. He's probably about 215 now, which is where he was pre-concussion, and he got up to about 220 after he got concussed. So we're on our way down with him. We've got to get him under 210. If he can get 208 or so, that's probably right about where he needs to be.
Is that why you guys were giving him so many reps today?
Yeah, he needs to play himself back into condition and drop the weight, and plus he's a guy that we're counting on. So he's got to get, and he hasn't played that position full time before.
Is there something that changes with your expectation when you know a guy like Keith McGill is going against your second or your third string offense?
Yeah, it's all relative, you know, the matchups, and you certainly expect a front line, like for example, you go 1 defense, 2 offense, which we don't do much of here at all. We like to go good on good, but you would expect the ones to have success, and it's all, like I said, relative. If you got a guy in the second unit going against the ones that's making plays, that's certainly more impressive than one guy making plays against the 2. So it's a relative situation, but like I said, we don't do that very often, if ever. We're almost exclusively 1-on-1, 2-on-2.
Any other young corners stand out in particular?
Justin Thomas, Reggie Porter was really making strides, and he's pulled a groin. He wasn't out there today, and that's one of the reasons the corner play suffered. He was in the top 2 or 3 easily, and pulled a groin yesterday. I hope it's not serious, but Justin Thomas, Hippolyto Corcoran continues to make plays. It was good to have Davion Orphe out there. He's doing some good things. It was good to get him back. He missed those 3 or 4 days with a hip flexor.
If you guys started this weekend, who would be your top 2 corners?
The guys that are hurt are not going to be available.
Let's say that Porter's available.
It would be between Porter, McGill, and Justin Thomas. 2 of those 3.
Kyle, a lot of young guys are kind of surfacing as far as their names and kind of being standouts. Is it safe to say the recruiting process, you're starting to get guys in here that you guys can really be excited about moving forward?
Well, we hope so, and that's what we felt in the last 2 classes, that we've done a good job bringing in a high caliber of talent, and hopefully that's starting to manifest, and I think you see that out there. Sam Tebby's another guy I want to mention. He looked really good moving around. He's 6'5", 290 pounds, true freshman. He's going to be special if he continues on the path that he's on right now.
Is there another running back now in the mix, Dravion Young?
Well, based on what he did today, you got to continue to take a look at him. But again, it was against the 3, so it's all relative. But he certainly did some things today to warrant getting some more reps with the 2s. Certainly.
What did you learn about your quarterbacks today?
Well, we'll find out when we go through the tape. But learned that I already knew that Connor Manning had a great deal of poise and calm under pressure. But we'll have to look at the tape and see where they went with the ball and why. Travis was a positive, like I said, only one series, but he was very productive in that series. But we'll learn much more after the film than what we know right now.
Is Travis still the undisputed starter
Yep,
for now?
Travis is our guy right now, and really the battle right now is for number 2 and 3. So he's going to be 2 and 3.
Will you have a special package of plays in there for Brandon
Could.
Cox?
That's another possibility. He's an athletic kid, and that's one of his strong suits is running the football. And so if that turns out to be something that could bring us an advantage in any way, shape, or form, then that's something we look at. But right now it's too early to make that determination.
Is there any thought of redshirting Connor Manning? Especially?
No thought of redshirting anybody at this point. We don't make those decisions till 7 to 10 days out from the first game. Right now everyone's battling. Haven't talked about, even as a coaching staff, behind closed doors, we don't talk about that. Everyone's just competing, and then we'll start to have those discussions later next week.
Any hunts that any position battles or depth chart placements were decided today?
We'll have to see. Decided. There might have been some switches, but nothing's been decided. But won't have that information until after we watch the film.
And maybe Saturday scrimmage as well?
Yeah, Saturday scrimmage is probably going to be the last extensive live work. Like I said, we have a scrimmage scheduled for next week, but I'm inclined to tell you that we probably will not make that a live scrimmage. It'll probably be more situational and maybe not even live work.
What would you say has been the bright spot at camp so far at this point?
Bright spot, I would say the work ethic of the players. We have not had we've had some slow parts of practice, but we're getting good effort for the most part. And Coach Erickson mentioned that. He's been a lot of places, says he's very impressed with the way the guys work. And I sometimes lose perspective, being in one place for so long. You don't get a lot of perspective on what's going on outside of our bubble. But that The emergence of Andy Phillips, as our kicker, he's becoming a very consistent guy, at least to this point. He's still got a lot of kicks to make between now and Utah State to solidify that job, but right now he's definitely separated himself from the other ones. And I would say that a big bright spot is the play of the young players, meaning the last 2 recruiting classes and the impact they're starting to make.
How about that offensive line? How happy does that make you as a coach to see that great play that you've been seeing from your offensive line?
We have to have that, and we knew that last year that was one of the things that was separating us from the rest of the league, and we feel like we've closed that gap considerably. We've got a bunch of healthy bodies now. We've got Celeste back with us today, and we've got Andrew Albers out of the pit with a concussion. He's better now. So those numbers and the quality of those numbers, since I've been at Utah, I can't remember a time where they've been as good as they are right now.
How close is CJ to getting out of the pit?
Could have played today again, but we just want to make sure the back is 100%, no twinges, no nothing, because he's got to be ready to go on August 29th. And if we keep playing him and it keeps nagging him and not getting completely healthy, then that's not smart on our part. So he could have easily played today, but as a precaution, we kept him on the sideline.
Did you limit no live work, just injury, or you think you have a good idea of who goes where at that point? You just stick the situational for that third scrimmage?
Third scrimmage, yeah. It probably won't even be a scrimmage. It won't even title it a scrimmage, but we need to know Saturday, coming out of Saturday, because we're going into game mode the next Monday. The next Monday, it's all Utah State
So
game
it's time
mode.
factor then,
Exactly. So we're this Saturday, and I had the discussion with the coaches last night. This Saturday is really the last extensive live work they'll get. We've got to have things sorted out. We've got to know who the guys we're going to sink our reps into going forward at that point in time, and that's where it'll be.
How has Peter T performed
Very
since
good.
he's got here?
The guy's explosive, exceptional explosiveness. I mean, the guy is probably the most explosive guy we got from in a 5-yard just from point A to point B. And so he's a little undersized. We got to put some weight on him, but great kid, loves to practice, always got a smile on his face, and we're elated that he's in our program.
Do you have any potential timeline on when you could possibly hear about the waiver to the NCAA on his eligibility?
We've just been told anywhere from 2 to 5 or 6 weeks, and so that was back when we first started. So that's sometime in that frame.
2 more questions.